I'm again in Sofia, Bulgaria, and it is time for a gyros, or as Kramer of Seinfeld says, a guy roast. So I'm at Mr. Gyros, and this nowadays costs 11.90 for a whole portion of pork gyros, which is about €6. Going to enjoy this. Out here in the new spa zone of this Bulls gym, which is quite lovely, as you can see. So I'm here at the Zensky Bazaar, which is a little bit of the more exotic part of Sofia, in the sense that it has this nice market and it's a bit bustling, let's say. That's what I really like. I like this part of the city a lot. Many local people hate it because they associate it with gypsies, whatnot. But I don't really care. I find it quite nice on a sunny day. I feel like I travel. So it's a pretty big market. You have one part that they modernized, but this is still the sort of older part of the how it used to be. And you have these old buildings in between as well, because actually this part of the city, it's in terms of architecture one of the better ones in town, because you have some of the best kept parts. Much of Sofia was bombed in the Second World War, but this part is a bit outside the center and it's relatively unharmed. Although right now it is mostly urban decay that affects the buildings. But yeah, sometimes you see a nice building and you really think, oh, that's cool. Like that one over there in the back, towering a bit above. Nice old building, but also falling apart a bit. And then you have several segments. You have places for fish, for meat. Fish is right there in the back. I don't come here a lot, but in fact, I don't go much into Sofia at all. I just have the gym, I have my routine. And that's it, you know, but it's still, I try to keep rediscovering the city, because after all, I live here and I'm still a foreigner. It's quite nice here as well, because you get scandals and people steal each other's clients, even though they are sort of neighbors. They offer better price. Like, this man just said we need to respect each other, because they steal each other's clients. And you see all types of characters, which is quite funny as well. Like the big city folk, you know. A bit rough around the edge. And I like that. It's not westernized yet, with where everybody looks the same with their sneakers and their expensive phones. It's still a bit how it used to be. And I just like that a lot. And it's still like that. I expected it would have changed a bit by now. I haven't come here for like 2 years. But it stays a bit the same. Like you see all types of people. And anything that you want, from second-hand leather jackets to hand-woven socks, you'll find it here, whatever. And you buy directly from the people, of course. With the fruits and vegetables, the legend goes that they try to scam you a bit if they don't know you. They put some nice vegetables on top and give you worse ones in the back, because they expect you come only once, you know. But I've shopped here and I never had any issues. I quite like the I just like the vibe. This is how humanity sort of always was with, you know, trade, and obviously the good weather helps a lot. In winter it's a bit miserable here. And here you see the buildings that I was talking about a bit crumbling apart, but I shouldn't romanticize it. It is a bit of a shame that we don't have the ability to keep this up, but still, I like how it looks, in a sense. Perhaps it is a bit exotic for me, like if I would live in such a building I would have a bit more complaints, but so you can buy everything here, fabric, these water tons, all sorts of smoking, coughing, spitting people. You have it all. Bachka. Sometimes I sort of fall out of love with the city. Like I stop liking it in a sense when I'm a bit too isolated in my neighborhood. I don't go explore a lot and I get in a bit of a mood, let's say. But then when I go out and I see all of this, I sort of fall in love with it again, because it's alive, you know. And for example, my mother, if she comes here, she doesn't like these places because she thinks it's a bit smudgy, dirty. But I like the sort of sense of life. And at such moments, I again fall in love with the city. So I do a bit of hate-love relationship with Sofia, but all in all my life here is really, really good, and that has never changed. If you go walk around here for a day, it's a bit as if you get a sensory overload. Like you see a lot of things, you see some people yelling, fighting, arguing. It feels as if you've been on a short adventure, you know? That makes sense. So there are indeed a lot of gypsy sales people, and they have their own language, which I don't understand, and sometimes they mix it with Bulgarian. Like typically you can see by the bit of a darker skin tone that they're gypsy, but you also hear it by the way they either speak their own language, or by the way they speak their own language, or by the way they speak Bulgarian. So yeah. And a lot of people think that these that you need to be careful with, or that at least people would warn you to be careful with them, whatnot. The worst things I've had with them is they ask for money in the street and they are a bit pushy, let's say, and that's really all. Like I've never had any issue whatsoever. And then in the back you have the cheese shop here. And right over there is Lvov Most, which is the Lions Bridge, which I've also never really showed in a video. But it's one of the main traffic arteries a bit outside the center. It's on the way to the central train station a bit. We have some meat stores. These are very, very old, by the way. You see the logos. It's been there for many decades. It's just nice. I don't really shop here, like I don't, but I have no reason to. But I wouldn't mind living like on this market somewhere. And you see here that also it's a little bit rough around the edge. You have these old beautiful buildings falling apart, and what they typically do, the Sofia municipality, they cannot afford, or they could if they were not corrupt, they could afford to reconstruct these buildings, but instead they wrap it in this sort of how should I call it, this veil, this veil, and so it can crumble apart in silence. Like it doesn't even protect from things falling on the street. It's just I don't know. It's a bit messed up, the reality here. The nice things are all lost slowly. But then you see the Lions Bridge over there, which used to be a rough part of town, but right now it's pretty much okay. In fact, it would be quite expensive to live here or to buy an apartment in the area. So then around the market you have all these side streets as well, which are relatively quickly changing. So as you can see here, it's a new apartment block, and there are several nice ones in the area that by now would be very expensive. Like maybe the best time to buy something here would have been 10-15 years ago. But now it's slowly changing, and at some point it will be hyped, like a part of the center. So it would have been a good investment. But the old houses, they are not repaired or renovated. So as you saw, I was just on the women's market, the Ženský Bazaar, and there's a very nice store for pillows and whatnot, sort of carpets, let's say. And I bought 2 of these nice pillows from the balcony. Oh, now that I see them, they're actually too big for the chair, I think. Anyway, these cost €2 a piece. So that's for outside. And then I bought these. Oh, we should put that one. Oh no, these how do you call these, hand towels or to drying cloths for €1 a piece. So they all have a pretty decent textile at the market. And then right now it is Saturday afternoon. It is 4 o'clock almost. And I'll work out in the gym a bit. So typically when I come to the gym, I just sit here a bit. I chill out after the walk from the tram. Check my dating app, see if there's any guys around. Then go to the workout after, maybe go on a date or go home, go for dinner. That's my city life, you know, which is all very, very decent. So yeah, hello from Sofia, I guess.